Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to GameStar TV for your weekly dose of Heroes of the Storm. IV'd straight to your computer screen. It is the HGC ANZ qualifiers. I am your host, Kit Fox. We are into round 4, and I'm just going to recap a few of the results we had in round 3. NMD defeated the Yahn Fan Club. littlegods defeated Ethereal Cat. Sasu defeated Elite, and Nomiya took down their arch rivals, Sweet Dreams, on stream. But now we are into round 4. If you haven't done so already and you've just joined us in the Twitch chat, we are giving away a little Ragnaros bundle after this match. It will be drawn at the conclusion of this match. So after that, we're going to be giving away a Valera bundle. So stay right to the end. We'll open up another raffle. If you don't get your hands on Baby Rag, we'll be giving away Valera as well. But this time, it is littlegods versus the Yahn Fan Club, where we go to Tomb of the Spider Queen. And I'm going to pass you back to your casters, Skimmy and Vendy.
Thank you very much there, Kev Fox. I can see the chat popping off here with raffles. I can even see Yahn himself getting amongst it, and his team is up here for the showing. So wouldn't it be nice for him to win a skin to donate to his team, who are most likely going to play Rag on this map, Vandy?
I don't see why they wouldn't. I mean, Ragnaros is just so strong in this current meta. And as we've seen, the reason why is just so good is when you've got someone hammering down on your fort, he can just really delay it and act as an extra soak on top of that.
Wave clear.
There's some nasty ganks too, right? That we've seen tonight,
yeah.
Skivvy.
I was just going to say, wave clear, ability to deny waves, tons of damage. I mean, he has it all, right? I saw a game, I believe, in the HGC where he actually sniped with his lava wave on top of not his lava wave, I forget the name, the big AoE ability on top of the Sulfurious Smash, and that alone just took out 2 members. And, you know, you're like, is this League of Legends? Is this HotS? Because generally speaking, you can't really carry on your own, but that was definitely a performance that was worth a standout shout out. So Ragnaros finding a lot of love. Finally seems to be that ANZ are catching on even after the nerfs. But Tessida, after that performance just before, whether or not he's going to be able to go for that draft phase, have to wait and see. Just waiting for both teams to get themselves ready into the lobby for Tomb of the Spider Queen, round number 4.
I love Tomb of the Spider Queen, Skimmy, because it can just open up just a lot of plays, and because it's such a small map, you can just sort of clear the lane, push up, and do those all-important ganks to make sure that you are the team getting all the experience. You hit 10, bada bing, bada boom. We've seen Nomiya do it quite a couple times, so that's where you want to go with this map.
Seems to be pretty systematic, right? You bounce between lanes, you have that little initial delay at the start where you're trying to accumulate as many gems as you can, then you decide what your game plan is. Do we go for the hand, and do we go for the push? Do we try and find some value in other aspects of the game? It's a weird map. I say it's still got its generic picks, things like the Malfurion, ETC, Tychus, we see it all the time. Ragnaros, well, he finds a bit more love on this. I'm feeling that we're going to see Sonya again find a bit of love. Sonya definitely has a shine out performance on these smaller maps. But it looks like these teams are ready to go, so we can actually kick off with the draft and see how both of these teams do. littlegods up against the Yahn Fan Club, both looking to show some love in the ANZ circuit. So let's kick it off.
Indeed, Skimmy. I can't wait for this one, as I said before. And it's exactly like you sort of said. We see those staples coming out here and there, but as well as I was just thinking of Sonya when you pointed her out as well, because we saw her get through in the previous game, and wow, she's still a monster. It's really good to see that she sort of found her footing again with Blizzard addressing those changes to her.
Let's talk about this pick here on the Chromie for the ban. Definitely not a standard ban on this map. I mean, it can be. Definitely Chromie excels in these sort of choke point maps, but definitely targeted towards Hacky, which had a standout performance on Chromie last week, doing so much work when it came to Battlefield of the Eternity. So Yahn Fan Club especially respecting that pick and deciding we don't want to have this in the mix whatsoever. Response being, like we said, Ragnaros being taken off the board. Don't want to allow Yahn Fan Club to get this a first pick, and rightfully so.
Exactly right. I mean, when a Chromie is just so well protected, it can be the most frustrating thing to verse, and as well as just giving her a lot of wave clear for those spider waves so she can really rack up the gems, as well as just getting those pokes. So once you've got the Spider Queen sort of hammering down on your enemy side, if you've got that Chromie as well, just getting the pokes and making it that much harder to defend.
Wouldn't be too surprised to see if Yahn Fan Club are comfortable with Tessida for them to go for the first pick on that hero. They can then transition into Zaya in the double rotation. No, they're actually going to go for the Malfurion, so still highly favouring the Druid himself. He's got so much love in his current patch, and definitely people in the scene starting to get a little bit bored with the sort of the holy trinity of supports. They want to see some new supports coming through. Things like Uther, where's he gone? He used to be the staple, and now he's just down in the drains. But Malfurion picked up here, now giving littlegods a chance to pick up Tassadar himself, and they may even go for Tassadar Xayah right off the bat. That'd be pretty filthy.
That would be a very, very hard sort of combination to crack through. Just to imagine the amount of shielding going through. You can see the numbers getting absorbed there. And with Malfurion as well, we just see the value that he brings with that cleanse, especially when just applied at the right times. We've seen so many jaw-dropping moments where Malfurion just saves. Otherwise, what we were thinking would be certain doom for a teammate.
Look at this, though, Vandy. They've gone for Diablo, which, generally speaking, is a great pairing with Malfurion. You do the overpower into a guaranteed route, so they deny Yahn Fan Club from having that. They also pick up Gul'dan, which is a standout pick on this map as well, as he's got so much wave clear, which is really what they need. So that where Weaver comes on through, he can decimate it, almost like how he does it on Brax's holdout, and that's why he is such a highly contested pick. Kind of then warrants the justification for a ban on Oriel if they decide to transition through with the Vala. Depends how Yahn Fan Club want to expand from this pick on. If they decide to pick up Vala themselves as that guaranteed damage source, I'm not too sure how they want to sort of continue this one.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see whether they want to sort of then pick up their damage first, because as we've sort of seen, we've got a tank locked in on the side of littlegods, so really they're in no rush unless they want to get their strong front line done and dusted. But it wouldn't make sense, Skimmy, because they've got a prime chance here to deny that Oriel pick or pick up the Valor, but they've done neither. They've locked in the Kael'thas and Johanna. As one could argue, though, they're still very, very good picks, with Kael'thas being an efficient wave clear. He brings tons of damage to the table. And same with Johanna, just being a walking sort of CC mobile.
Yeah. I mean, Kael'thas is an interesting one. I wouldn't have rated him as highly as this, but definitely a few patches back, he was the go-to. Plenty of denial for those handles. You've got the Phoenix as well to provide a lot of sustained damage in a fight or around a hand-in. Johanna, though, definitely a pick I would have opted for when it comes to the tanking role. Plenty of wave clear, which is what you definitely need on this map. Generally speaking, the team that has the better wave clear finds themselves with more gems, better rotates, and an overall lead in the game. Now, talking about the bans for the second rotation, it's littlegods currently hovering the Sonya. We touched briefly on Sonya being good on this map, strong solo laner, even a strong pick on small maps where you're looking to brawl and sort of bruise it up a fair bit. They do decide to finally lock it in. And now the flip side of that is, do Yahn Fan Club go for the Xayah or the Tassadar ban?
I'm not sure if they do. They don't seem to be prioritizing it as heavily, I guess, because maybe they're just not convinced, Skimmy. They haven't seen what all the hype train is about.
Ooh.
And indeed, they prove it so. So they just want to ban out all those bruises on both sides. So just a recurring theme here. So I guess now if you were on the side of littlegods, you'd be thinking now, all right, with what we've got, we might want to be locking in our support nice and early, getting that Oriel secured, and she's still on the table, getting even the Valor, who's also still on offer, and getting that trinity of heroes, Skimmy, which would be quite a nightmare to verse.
Yeah, the hope builder, the absolute dream when it comes to getting heals, damage, and overall synergy. But Tennis suggests if they've gone for that ban that they're really concerned about the immobile champions, be it Kael'thas and Malfurion, and they're absolutely terrified about them being caught out of position and having no way to reliably back them up. They do decide to lock in with the Valor. They've complemented that with the Thrall, given that Sonya and Artenis are off the board, so they've locked in arguably one of the best bruisers in the game. But without any further contest, Zul'jin and Tassadar, that is a dream network. They've paired them up nicely. They took no time to lock that one in, Vandy.
So they were waiting down to the wire there, but it was still on the table, so they said, hey, why not? So very interesting pairing there with Tassadar, able to sort of stall Zul'jin once he gets very low, so he can do maximum damage. So like I said, a pairing, almost a match made in heaven. And to round them all off as well, Thrall and Lieutenant Morales. So I want to see, I guess, what this Thrall picks as his heroic, because we saw a Sundering coming back from before. Will he favour Earthquake because it's such a small map, or does he want to get the picks with Sundering? Skimmy, we'll have to see, I guess.
Yeah, I'm kind of veering towards the Sundering again. I mean, there's so many opportunities back in the day before these patch changes came around where I was like, Sundering has to be so good here. I'm veering again towards that because they took away the Artanis, and that shows that they're scared of being split up and broken apart here. So the Sundering would achieve essentially that. Diablo can then get amongst things. They got the fear with the Horrify from Gul'dan on top of everything. They've gone for the Morales over the Oriole, which usually would be the go-to pick, merely because of the fact that they need a cleanse. They need a guaranteed way of getting somebody out of jail for free. So the Lieutenant Morales makes sense here because there's not really much burst damage. Okay, Zul'jin can be pretty empowered when he gets low, but you're looking to try and kill him before that even comes around, right?
Exactly right. Just pop it, get that Tazdingo out early, and then really he's just sort of scared and sitting on the back lines just trying not to die because he can be quite a squishy champion. But, I mean, we're going to have to wait, Skimmy. I'm going to kick us off by introducing Yahn FC. So we've got Superstition on Kael'thas, Assassin on Tassadar, Stump God on Malfurion, Arya on Johanna, and MPH playing Zul'jin.
And a big shout out there by Arya, who's actually said a big fan of the retired pro player Yahn. So Yahn, you've got some fans, you've got a love, and you've got yourself a pro team. But let's kick it off on the left-hand side. It is the blue squad. It is littlegods, formerly known as the Rejects and Hacky. They are made up of Moops on Morales, Hacky on Vala, Physics on Gul'dan, Demise on Diablo, and Godzilla on Feral. So let's kick it off here in the middle of the lane. Why not? Let's go for those level 1 shenanigans. Let's talk about talents. Convection picked up here by Kael'thas. Definitely the go-to now. High risk, high reward. That's definitely who their priority is going to be when they're going to be rotating between both lanes.
Oh, definitely. And we're seeing Scouting Drone picked up by both supports here, so they really want to make sure that they have all the vision. It's very important, one could argue, on a smaller map as well, because as we were talking, those rotations are going to be coming. They're going to be coming hard and fast once the lanes break out.
Look at that. Godzilla runs up to the troll, and the troll just laughs at him, literally and physically smacks him in the face. Godzilla goes, well, I'm going to run back to the bot lane. Stains up with his passive, but the 3-man rotate comes across here. He's going to go in for the engage regardless, but Tassadar, he's there with the shield, and he's there with the innate sustain. It's 20% lifesteal off the bat. This really is a match made in heaven for him.
He's going to be loving it, I feel. And that's what you want. You want those heroes that work together in unison. But we've got a lot of brawling here happening with the... Oh my gosh, Johanna getting a little bit low.
That gravity lapse there coming from Superstition was the absolute dream. Johanna looked pretty low there. Looked like she was in a lot of trouble. So thankfully, so the skill shots were in check. They managed to connect with it. Damage on towards the Demise, but he's not going to be phased by this one. He's going to live to fight another day. And as we say on this map, you're bouncing for those gems because it's almost like Candy Crush. Gems, they mean everything.
I love that analogy because yes, they do. You get that all-important Spider Queen turn in first, and you could be facing a huge level advantage depending on how much base you're able to claim. And not to speak of as well, just the map pressure that it puts on the enemy team.
Interestingly enough, though, with this setup and the rotations, they've kept Tassadar in the bot lane, almost saying that we don't trust Zul'jin on his own, and this is the response now from littlegods saying, look, we're not going to do a 2v1 all day, we're going to get the Ferris bit, we're going to try and go for the kill. MPH does get away. He had the miles per hour, he had the speed to run away, and he had the support from a Tassadar, so it's interesting how they're doing this 2v1, whether or not they decide to stay with this, but it's really showing respect to Godzilla on Feral there.
They really do. I mean, Godzilla is just being so on point, I guess, as well, with just landing his stuns, getting his team in, to help set something up. But unfortunately, they're just falling short. Not enough damage coming out yet. But I feel that give it a couple more tries, and we're going to see one of those rotations become very successful.
And this is a talking point for level 4. Colors Embrace is being picked up, amplifying that lifesteal from 20% to 40%. I thought that might be the case here, given that they have Zul'jin, and they locked in those 2 picks without any second guess. So expect to see those shields have a definite priority on towards Zul'jin. But once again, bouncing between these lanes, this is where littlegods are trying to find their advantage. They realize it's going to be a 3v4 when they bounce between. They are looking for these kills. They are looking for the clear. But right now, it really is Yahn FC who found themselves a small little lead so early on.
Exactly right. And that's just by really staying put, and as I said, just by denying them, by getting denying littlegods from getting any kills. So it's just really interesting to see sometimes just playing put, not playing risky, can actually pay off sometimes. It just depends on how lucky you are as well, I feel, Skimmy.
Yeah, I mean, the shot calls come out here. I've been a bit buzzed out by the rotation. They've actually sent Feral up to the top lane, now taking Diablo out of the mix, so leaving Diablo here to say, hey, you can soak for as long as possible. Kill goes on towards Kael'thas, though, and that's going to be the first blood here. The patience paid off. The rotation switching Feral out to the 4-man gank squad has allowed them to get the ball rolling, get the XP back on a level playing field, and try and really deny this 2v1 in the bot lane, which is proving to be quite painful right now.
Exactly right, and as I said, it was just going to be a matter of time, and as one could argue, it was just such a worthwhile kill because it really set Kael'thas right back to ground zero for getting that conviction talent stacked. So every moment that he doesn't have that stacked, it's almost a wasted talent. It's just a waste of damage for him. So he wants to get it up as soon as possible, but really well played there by littlegods.
Yeah, really well played by littlegods. Make that ×2 because they find the rotation. They finally take out the pesky annoyance of the Zul'jin. The troll has been put in his place. Not an internet troll, but a video game troll, and they're just as bad. So let's take him off the board. Let's try and secure this advantage right now. They do have enough gems in hand, 40 in the bank, 22 on their possession, but they're going to look for another kill. Dimensional Shift comes across. Gul'dan is hitting those corruptions. He is lighting up the floor. He is keeping everybody in check. And that's 2 members now forced to tap the well. Maybe Superstition here. Oh, he does finally get away there. And Tesla are actually 2. They're quite low, Vandy. They're feeling this pressure starting to get to them.
They are, and I mean, with that Spider Queen just getting summoned right now with the Web Weavers, they're going to be feeling the pressure a lot more. They're going to want to deal with this quickly and efficiently, but making sure that they don't get picked off. And Arya sitting on the payload of gems there, sitting on 35. He needs to be careful, but how can you be careful when you're the tank to initiate for your team? It's almost just going against everything.
It's a double-edged sword, right? It's like, hey team, I have the gems, but I have to engage. So I have to put my life on the risk, but I've also got to know how to put my life on the risk. And that's a fine line to try and balance between. But speaking of fine lines, we've got Gul'dan here. Hunger for power at level 7. More damage, but less healing. So he's looking really for that snowball all-in money-making potential. So watch him, see if he can really unleash the power.
Exactly. He wants to do what Kel'Thas was trying to do, but on the downside, I guess, like you said, Kel'Thas got set back just a little bit, and we're seeing all team members of littlegods immediately split the lane to get the maximum sort of potential out of this.
Oh no, Demise with the drive-by saying, how are you, bro? And he gets the kill, once again saying Kel'Thas, those stacks too, are not going anywhere. And that's unfortunate right now, because that's allowing littlegods to find themselves that much closer to level 10 and really securing their already mounting lead.
Exactly right, and that's what I was talking about, Skimmy. You can get so much worth out of the Spider Queens, as we sort of saw. They really just battered down a lot of the outer fortifications in each lane. So, in fact, the next push that they get with the Web Weavers, they can actually probably push through and get a couple of those first forts down. But it's going to be another story now, because we've got Yahn FC with all the gems here. So Johanna finally allowed to just put the payload in. Arya finally feeling relieved.
Oh, look at this. Demise once again. I said it. Time and time again, he's going to be looking for that Kel'Thas all game, making sure that Convection gets no value whatsoever. He alone nearly took him out, but Arya now, with 11 gems in possession, handing in a fair few, does finally drop. Not as bad as it could have been. 2 members go down though, Vandy, and it's going to be Demise still looking for more. MPH, he's running away, and he's running away in the wrong direction because the fear comes across. Zul'jin is, well, he's having a bad day right now. Look at that, Kel'Thas, see you later. There is a quad kill. And that is littlegods setting this game on fire with level 10.
And I mean, that Horrify just coming out so quickly. As soon as 10 was popped, he wanted that Zul'jin. He wanted him bad, because there was really no hesitation on his part, right there, Skimmy. But we've still got the Web Weavers in favor of Yahn FC, who've actually called for a pause here.
Yeah, it looks like Physics has got some lag there. But let's quickly touch on these level 10 talents that we've got. As this game is in a pause, we've got Earthquake. Now we decided, well, we didn't decide, but we sort of spoke about whether or not Sundering or Earthquake was going to be chosen here. From what it seems, they're going to try and run that innate Earthquake into APOC strategy. And if they need insurance, they have Horrify and Rain of Vengeance to lock people in place to make sure it all comes through. So, you know, you can see how easily they're connecting on towards heroes like the Kel'Thas and like the Zul'jin that have no innate gap closer or no real built-in mobility. And that's allowing Demise to have a free roam, you know, sort of pick off these kills that we just saw there.
Exactly right. And I mean, this is why mobility can also make or break you, especially when they've got such good initiators. It can just sort of be the difference between sort of living, because they're all sitting ducks effectively if they don't have anything sort of left to stun them back with. So as you said, Skimmy, they're playing on dangerous thin ice right now at the moment with Yahn FC. They really want to get that level 10, though, happening for them to equalize the playing field.
And they haven't lost faith. We can see both Superstition and Arya both shouting out once again their love and support for Yahn, and Yahn still in the chat. I can see those love hearts. Don't think I can't. I'm multitasking because men can, despite what we say. We have selective hearing. That is a big shout out to Yahn, and he's going to make sure that his team energy, get those feelings amongst it. What I want to touch on briefly though, Vandy, is with Gul'dan. Now we can see how much they're trying to put into Zul'jin, sorry. We can see how much they're trying to put into Zul'jin. Are we still going to see the Tazdingo, given that Guillotine has been effectively buffed pretty hard? That gives him more reliable damage, but he has less innate survivability.
I'm just unsure because, as we sort of touched on, there's just no mobility on his behalf, and that's just what's really going to hurt him. And I feel that could be what sort of directs him into that Tazdingo thing right there. But we'll just wait and see, because as I said, Guillotine, definitely buffed out, definitely not a dead pick anymore. So we'll just wait and see what he's going to be. But they really need to be watching out, because Little Gods, they're hungering for another turn in here, and with the Web Weavers being summoned, there's a fight breaking out right now, Skimmy. Oh my
that's
goodness.
it. There goes the APOC, and there goes the Stinger, and onto Godzilla, who's going straight into the back line, straight away looking for the kill fast, and they're just giving him no brace whatsoever. Convection down to 0 once again. Is it ever going to be completed? Find out next time on the next episode of HGC. Moons actually drops out of this game. It is a bot Morales right now. Can the support bot do his job? He comes back in, but it is already two crucial members, as we talked about. Both the members with no mobility, they are looking for more. They are looking for Joanna. Hacky is jumping in. He goes for the vault. He goes for the money plays. He gets the blind, but it doesn't matter. He has a hungering arrow, and that does not care if he's blinded whatsoever. 3 members taken out just like that, and on top of all those things, Vandy, 3-level lead. This is pretty ridiculous right now for Little Gods.
Starting to snowball now in favor of Little Gods, and if you're a Yahn FC, you just be looking to see, I guess, where you can next best make up this deficit, because they're just not having enough damage to deal with threats coming out. Like, at the end of the day, Skimmy, that's just really what's hurting them. And their wave clear, they're not able to effectively use it, because every time they try to go out, once again, they bump into Little Gods with Demise just wanting to pick a fight with them.
It seems to be the prevalent weakness of running a single tank comp right now is there's no real way, it seems, that they can provide protection for both Kelfast and Zul'jin, and they're getting picked off so early on into this game that, or so early into these fights, that they had to initially back away. They find themselves down in levels, they find an opportunity to go for the kill. They can't. Look at that, you can see MPH running into the midst of things, gets picked off for free, so it's unfortunate things like that which are setting them so far back. 3 levels down now, and this is Little Gods looking to try and pressure a keep.
Little Gods, they're definitely going up at the Demise. Slow on mana, and Arya now just taking heaps of damage, but it looks though Skimmy.
Hacky gets amongst it, and he vaults away before Stump Gold expends the last inklings of his mana. The Twilight Dream surely would have set his day ablaze. He would have been dropped out of this battlefield, but it's only going to be Joanna amongst all that chaos by the keep, which is still in quite good shape. Hasn't taken too much damage. They are going to get away on dangerously low health, but NPH once again is going to get amongst it. Is he going to pay the price? This troll is playing so damn aggressively.
Almost too aggressively, because Assassin was like, look, you need to stop that, buddy. I'm going to give you a shield because I don't want you to fall too early. Not before the next team fight. Not before we get something out of this. And I mean, we're now seeing a 3-level difference, Skimmy. That's now a talent down. So really, if you are now in Yahn FC, you'd be starting to feel the heat. And I'm not talking about Kael'thas's heat. They're just really in a bad position at the moment. They just want to be able to sort of regroup and recover, essentially.
The heat that Kelfast wishes he could provide is currently a matchbox. It is definitely not a full-blown fire. It is a slightly nerfed one at that. Convection starting to build up its ranks again. It's caught away through. It's trying to make sure that he has some power spike in this game, even if it has to be 15 minutes on into this game. He's going to rotate between lanes and keep himself in good check. But let's talk about the damage as we are talking about what Kelfast can't currently provide. 40,000 being smashed out there by Gordon, Lord himself. Really bringing the numbers on hard and bringing them on home. And it's going to be NPH once again caught as that bread and butter. It's Demise jumping on in, followed by the Horrify, taken out for free. Where's Tesla? He is so far back thinking, what are you doing? And with easy picks like that, 5v4 advantages, they are once again banging on that keep's door.
This time I feel like they're in a much better position to take it, because as you said, they've got the numbers in their favor now. They've got the health and mana as well, but they're taking a lot of damage. The defense is now discerning them. Once that's gone, they're just going to be pushing right back in.
Yeah, Phoenix and Archon both being used to a great extent here. It's going to be Zul'jin up just now, so they might actually be able to hold this one on for a little bit longer, albeit that keep is now down to half. There is no mule, however, so that is going to be permanent damage to that keep. And that's only a matter of time before that one pushes on in. They are still sticking around, however, Vandy. They might even get the kill on NPH, but no, it's not enough damage there to be secured by Hack. But Demise, once again, he's looking for the combination, and it's going to be the Hack going for it this time, but he gets taken out by Tazdingo, the unstoppable bait. Superstition in the back line. Look how far Godzilla is. He is in absolute Africa. He gets taken out. It is a 2-for-2 amongst all the carnage. And that really shouldn't be happening, to be honest, when it's 16-14, but it might not be here. It might not be over just yet, sorry, because Demise is still looking for more. The Suns comes across. Demise is running around. Can he live? He's down to 300. He is going to live despite all of that, Vandy. And, well, that's expended all my breath.
Lives to tell the tale, Skimmy. And I mean, what we sort of saw there was just really an overcommitting by littlegods right there, because what you've got to understand as well, as people sort of might know or might not know, I'll just quickly go through it, is that when it gets lowered sort of towards the end of the game, and when there's a level deficit sort of happening, each kill that Yahn FC picks up from this point on will reward so much more XP than the kills that littlegods are picking up. So really, it wasn't that worthwhile for them to play that aggressively. Yes, they did get some kills there, but we can sort of see now the level difference is getting to a little bit close now, just because of that fight there.
Still 2 levels, but still, it's better than 3 levels. And if you do math, those are the basic odds that you need to know. You don't need a math degree to figure that one out, but it's going to be Demise once again looking for the combination. He's going to start things off, and Godzilla just does not care about his team whatsoever. He is going on a solo man mission every single time, but they start off with Mount Fury, take out support number 1. Let's look for support number 2, they say, but first, let's go for Tez Dingo. He always seems to be cool. Tez Dingo is popped, and it's followed up by the Horrified, negating any possible chance of it finding value. Assassin, once again, he is so far away to be able to provide a shield that finds a lost opportunity once again. What looked like a promising situation for them to catch up in. They've lost 2 members as a result, and yeah, littlegods are making sure this game is definitely in their control.
Yep, exactly. It's just set them right back, and I mean, really, it's just so hard because they're just getting zoned so well by Demise's Apocalypse, as well as just moves. Every time they get someone down, moves quickly switches target, and that's why Morales is a heal bot. Just keeping them all so well topped up until they can effectively just deal the damage right back. And then because Malfurion's already been taken out of the equation, they have no healing skills. So it's just so hard to survive when your healing gets taken out of the equation so early.
It definitely seems like the strategy that needs to deploy here is keep this Zul'jin safe. MPH needs to tone it down a level right now. He seems to be the one member getting caught out every single time, let alone Superstition. That Convection has been reset once again. It's so damn unfortunate for these guys right now, but they are playing base defense. They're about to hit level 16. It is really now or never for them. They popped the Phoenix already in the mid lane. They're getting pushed in the bot lane too. They've got Mercenaries in favor of littlegods. That keep looks like it's a definite go. Right now, all eyes are on mid right now, and I would be surprised if littlegods play this one aggressively. Yes, they have a 2-level lead. They can play it patiently if they need to, but they're going to go aggressive regardless. There goes the Twilight Dream. They're going to look for the initial kill on towards the yellow, and it's going to be good. They start things off in their favor. The base defense is successful now for Yahn FC. This could be the comeback potential. Arya is running amongst it. Tez Dingo has been popped. Does he have a shield? He needs one. He's going to come across with some healing in the very last mix. Their dimensional shift has to be popped up. That Hangering Arrow would have picked up that kill. And Arya is running amongst things 1v4 right now, but that bot minion wave has plowed through the keep, Vandy. It is aimed towards the keep, towards the core, and that might be enough to stop this carnage.
It was almost like a stall tactic there, but right there, that was exactly the plan that they needed. MPH was just being untouched, and he was allowed to just dish out the damage right there. That's what they need more of, but here's another one. Demise going in so deep, Skimmy.
So deep indeed. They went for the combination. They don't find as many kills as they'd like, but do they? They actually do get some. Make that 1, 2, 3. Light them up is the command right now for littlegods as they're looking for the final 5th pick. It looks so good for Yahn FC for just a second there. They didn't even walk into the APOC or the Earthquake, but then they walked back in as if they had indecisiveness, and that's going to be game, set, match for littlegods. They're hitting the core, and they are picking up round number 4.
That was such a well-played game right there, Skimmy. As we sort of see, it was almost just a mirroring of, I guess, a little bit of Nomiya tactics there, just sort of getting that small lead and just pushing on. But really, I think it really went wrong for them in the draft. They just didn't have the tools that they needed, as you said, to keep Zul'jin safe to do all that damage. When he could, he was dealing out the damage, it's just that he wasn't allowed to. Same for Kel'Thas.
Same for Kel'Thas indeed. Both key carries on the side of Yahn FC, given no breathing room all game long. Convection never completed. And that's really what you got to do. You got to go into this game with that sort of strategy in mind and realize those are their power carries. That's not what we're going to let unlock that next level. But let's talk about MVP now. For myself personally, I had 2 key members that I was looking at. Physics, always impeccable with those Horrifies, making sure that MPH was always caught out of position. Even when Tez Dingo was popped, he wasn't even able to use it, and that allowed him to prevent tested off from being able to actually pop a shield. The other member I wanted to talk about was Demise. Diablo always making work happen for their side, always finding the right engagements and allowing these team fights to work. How about yourself?
I definitely sort of agree with those sentiments expressed there. I would like to give just a sort of honorary mention to Moves, who are just doing so good at healing. But really, like you said, there's shining players there with Demise and Fixit. But just looking at those numbers, Skimmy, I have to give it to Fixit. That's MVP in every sense of the word. Almost 150k siege damage. I know I'm rounding up, but damn, that's a lot. And that hero damage as well. We've got to give it to him, Skimmy. So congrats, Physics, sorry. You're the MVP for match number 4.
There you go, Physics. Match number 4 is in your favour. And actually, I'm going to touch on this quickly. He's a Kiwi, and as we know, Kiwis are the best. So good on you, mate. You get yourself a chance at winning one of the Plantronic headsets supplied as a sponsorship through GameStar. Without further ado, let's jump back to Kit Fox as we get ready for game number 5 and round out week number 3.
You better talk up NZ Skimmy, because not many other people are. But back to the results. Nomia defeated NMD off stream. Ethereal Cat have taken down Elite in round 4. And we're still waiting for Sweet Dreams versus Sasu. And, of course, the Little Gods, well done, getting themselves a win on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Now, it is that time. We've got ourselves 39 entrants into the Little Ragnaros giveaway. So what we've done here is we've got all the entrants, thrown them into a random number generator, kind of like a Wheel of Fortune sort of thing. It's spinning as we speak. 39 entrants. It's ticking down. It's ticking down. It looks like, it was going to be Vicarak, but it's not Vicarak. It's Achilles. So well done to Achilles for getting themselves a Little Ragnaros bundle. Thanks to Blizzard ANZ. Contact us after the stream, please. After the stream. And but if you didn't get yourself a Ragnaros bundle, do not stress, because we've got another one. That's right, for sticking around to the end of the stream. After the conclusion of round 5, we are going to be giving away a Valera bundle thanks to Blizzard ANZ. So we're going to open up ourselves another raffle right now. So everybody, raffle in the chat, and we'll be back very, very soon after this short break right here on GameStar TV.